It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Tiny Rebel Brewing Company, and this is a can of their 505 New England IPA coming in at 6.2% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. There's a look at the can. Looks rather fabulous, doesn't it? And the reason why I'm doing this is that well, not inundated. I think inundated would be the wrong word, but a lot of people told me after my recent Vibes New England IPA review that I did from Tiny Rebel that I should pick this one up. So I popped to Sainsbury's, I picked this one up. And we're going to give it a review. So we have a 3-finger white head. It's nice and hazy and kind of straw coloured. A little bit of carbonation rolling up the side of the glass. Let's get the aroma on this beer then. I thought Vibes was kind of okay-ish. I'm hoping for better from this, to be honest. Certainly with people saying, will you review it, then hopefully it's a tad better than Vibes was, which I thought was kind of okay. Yeah, this has got that kind of, this has got this feel about it, that kind of fairy washing up liquid. In fact, that's... yeah, it's not the lemon in the fairy that cleans your dishes. It's just they want you to smell something lemony when you're washing your dishes. I'm sure Tiny Rebel are not going for the same effect. This is more... It's lemony, I've got to be honest, but there's a touch of grapefruit in there. A touch of kind of orange peel. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Let's dive into this one. Cheers, everybody. I've had to take a couple of tastes of this to be ultimately sure with what I want to say about it, and I've never drank fairy washing up liquid, but in my mind, if fairy washing up liquid tasted good, it would kind of taste like this. It'd say, I think a line needs to be drawn with craft beer. I think there needs to be another term now for beer. And as confusing as that sounds, because we already have real ale, ale, beer, craft beer. Check my hashtags. There's so many kind of terminologies for beer. But I think, and I've been thinking about this a lot recently, I think there needs to be a new terminology for beer. There should be a new terminology for pure craft beer brewing. Like almost like a self-certification that you've used hops, yeast, water and malt. Because, and when I say hops, I mean like a very, very good quality pellet hop or whole cone hops. Whole cone hop brewing. Maybe they can be kind of like a sticker on a can. I know straight away the problems we face with that is that we probably face £6-7 a can craft beer, without a shadow of a doubt. But I don't think this can carry on. I don't think this kind of hop concentrate, hop oil thing can carry on for much longer, because personally I think you're definitely getting something kind of lilt like drinking some kind of can of lilt or sniffing a bottle of fairy. It's citrusy, it's definitely citrusy, but I'm not able to go, right, I can taste a bit of fleshy blood orange over there, or a bit of grapefruit over there, or a bit of mango over there, or it's just a meddling, and I'm pretty sure I said exactly the same thing with vibes. It's just a meddling flavour of nothingness. It's all of those flavours crammed in together, and that can only come, for me, that can only come through just artificial brewing, like concentrates and oils, and it's almost become lazy brewing. Right, okay, we're a large company now, we have brewers coming in on shifts. They do 24-hour brewing, I think they do at Tiny Rebel. So you got people doing night shifts and day shifts, and it's very hard to manage. It's a very hard thing to manage. So what they do is that they go, right, well, just let them use hop oils and hop concentrates, so it's not a difficult thing. It's not an overly difficult process for a shift brewer, if that makes sense to some of you experienced home brewers out there that knows that, you know, brewing a fantastic beer takes a lot of time and effort. If you can get your shift brewer to use a certain amount of hop oil or a certain amount of, you know, it's just button pushing, isn't it? It's just emptying this bucket of oil into a B, C, eventually you get to Z, eventually you come up with something like this, which it's just not great. It's far from great. It's just, it's just a bit rubbish. I don't mind saying that. They're down the road. They're about 15-20 miles from me, Tiny Rebel. I could jump in the car, jump on the motorway, exit that little B road turning off the motorway just before the Severn Bridge, and I can be there in half an hour. But I don't feel like I want to jump in my car these days and drive down to Tiny Rebel and turn off that little weird B road and come off the motorway at 70 mile an hour, and all of a sudden you're into a B road. It's bonkers. I don't feel like I want to do that. I just feel like I want to avoid it at the moment. I've had a couple of decent beers from Tiny Rebel this year. They're Nutella, lovely kind of nut brown ale. I thought it was terrific. So they do show that they can brew good beer, but chucking this into Sainsbury's, I'm going to have a look, because I've been under some criticism recently for getting the price of beer wrong. So I'm going to just Tiny Rebel 505 Sainsbury's. I'm just going to get the price, just so you know some of the. I've had people tweeting, "Oh, he's got the price wrong." It's like, fucking really? Budweiser, Cali. Yeah, it's not even on their website. Let's try 505. £2.40. £2.40 a can. Okay, on that basis, I'm going to ever so slightly change my tune a little bit, because that is cheap. That is cheap for a New England IPA. But still, is it worth £2.40? Would I buy it again? I don't think so. I'll change my tune a little bit for the price. I mean, you're not paying £3, you're not paying £4, you're paying £2.40. Maybe Tiny Rebel just need to raise their prices to £4 a can and just make a decent New England IPA. Maybe that's the answer. Because this, it's just not blooming good enough. It's bagging basement. And I'm fed up living in Wales, and I hope not to be over too critical of my lovely Welsh compatriots, but living in Wales, it's always like driven by price. It's always like driving, let's drive the price down as much as we possibly can and we'll drink this drivel. It drives me a bit bonkers, because I'm one of those rarities that go, actually, I would rather not buy 24 cans of Carling for £10. I'd rather not drink it. I'd rather drink a glass of water. So I won't put my £10 into 24 cans of Carling. I might buy just 2 cans, 2 £5 cans of beer and drink really good quality stuff. I'd much rather do that, but I'm a rarity. It seems like I'm a rarity. It seems like Tiny Rebel and almost like a victim of brewing this side of the border. It's a bit sad, to be honest. Because if more people went, okay, I don't need to drink 24 cans of Carling, I just want to drink 2 really good blooming beers, then we wouldn't be in this predicament, would we? We wouldn't be in this situation of cheap, terrible New England IPA. It's just rubbish. It's just absolute rubbish. I'm sorry if I've come across, maybe I've come across awfully middle class here, but it's just my opinion. I'm not middle class. I live in a blooming terraced house in a rundown area in Caddixton. I'm not middle class. I just know when I want a quality beer and when I don't want to drink dross. For me, this 505 is rubbish, and it sent me into some wild rant which I never expected to go into. It's a 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.